Well, Rod Stewart, as we mentioned yesterday, because his Ferrari couldn't get down the street where he lives due to potholes, went out there and filled in the potholes with gravel, and they put some cement over top. And we made the prediction he's going to be in some trouble for this. His video went viral. Well, now cops have said to him, look, we appreciate your commitment and community spirit, but we discourage anyone from carrying out work on the road themselves. They have to be done a certain way, a proper way. Rod doesn't know it. Without proper traffic management, too, you could have an accident out here, and you're putting yourself and your neighbors in harm's way. Residents are not allowed to do this. They gave him only a warning this time, but they said next time there will be a citation.
I see.
But his neighbors all rallied around and said, good.
I think he's absolutely amazing. It's about time someone did.
Well done, Rod. We love you, mate.
Yeah, he did a really good job. So, yeah, I mean, this bit of road here, it was horrendous. The potholes were diabolical, really.
I think it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, he only lives up the road and the potholes have been really, really bad. So, yeah, fantastic. I dreaded coming home this way, but now we can.
So what's the world coming to when the local rock star has to fix the roads?
Exactly. So,
gotta love the English.
So right on. What's the world coming to?
Well done, Rod.
The rock star has
Thanks,
to
Rod.
fix potholes. I love it. He's a local hero now, even though the police have said, the bobbies have said, don't you dare do this again. We're not having it. Now, speaking of...
You know what seems to get more attention is when people draw stuff around it.
Oh, yeah.
I see that more, I think, in the U.S. But if you just draw something around the potholes, usually the city or the county, whoever's in charge of the road, I think they're more motivated to fill it in properly with real asphalt.
Now, there was a guy on CBS Sunday Morning a few years ago who would go around and make the pothole into art. He would fill it in and then paint something on. He was an artist.
See, the problem is the filling in.
Exactly.
Because that's going to give way. As soon as it rains or gets hot or cold, we don't know what we're doing. Right.
And
I mean, you can fill it in with gravel. It'll work for an hour.
Right. This guy had... It was cement of some sort, but the city always came in and went behind him and took out. Yeah, because they didn't do it exactly the right way. I noticed there was a pothole when I was going home every day recently for about, I'd say 10 days. It took him about 10 days to fill it in. And I hit it almost every day, and every day I go, oh, God.
I should have.
Yeah, I should have
veered this way.
Exactly. And it was hard. Yeah. And it was downtown here, but they got it after about 10 days, which I think is good enough. Don't you think?
Yeah.
I thought that. I was like, okay, that works out.
Do you wonder, I mean, is that something that people call about?
Potholes?
Or people just out there in the streets patrolling, marking down locations? We'll come back and get you later.
I don't know I never would call about a pothole, especially on a busy, like, downtown street. Now, in your neighborhood, I don't know what you do if you've got one, like Rod's got it near his house, I think you would need to call somebody to come out there and fix it. As you heard those British neighbors say, what's the world coming to?
The local rock stars filling in the potholes.
Now, speaking of the local rock star, also in England, speaking of CBS Sunday Morning, there's an interview with Keith Richards coming up this Sunday, and I have access to a little preview of the interview.
Well,
probably because I'm such a fan of CBS Sunday Morning.
So CBS knows and just decided to send you some advance copies?
Correct. And they asked him, you'd be interested in this, with everybody selling their music catalogs these days.
Right.
What about the Rolling Stones? They asked Keith Richards, are you going to sell out like Bob Dylan and Bruce Springsteen?
Mick and I have not spoken about it on a serious level. I don't know if we're ready to sell our catalogue. We might drag it out a bit.
Yeah,
put some more stuff in it. You only think about selling your catalogue when that's a sign of getting old.
Refuses to get old and sell.
I'm not surprised to hear him say that.
Agreed.
He says we're not done filling it in.
Exactly. And then, just as we talked about this 101-year-old surgeon who still goes to work every day, the interviewer said, have you thought about hanging it up?
Have you ever asked yourself, how much longer can I do this?
Well, if I did that, I wouldn't be coming up with an answer, and then I'd be always thinking about it. Tomorrow, July the 5th, 2025. No, you can't know. I'll find out the hard way.
You die on stage.
I get the impression, one gets the impression that, like, the great, the late Charlie Watts, he'll just die in the saddle.
I agree. They're going to keep
on the road somewhere.
They'll keep on going. And he just said, I'll find out the hard way. And I think that's what he means by that. It's like, I'll be.
Maybe you saw this too. The Stones announced they're calling it 60. It's a new tour. I think it's only in the UK, but it's like to mark their 60th anniversary as a band.
60 years. 60.
60.
That's right. They've been a band. I mean, they're closing in on 80 years old, and they'll be still playing concerts going around. Admire it in many ways. I think it's pretty good. Now, who may not be back on the job, Miss Mayim Bialik. You call her Blossom. Mm-hmm. She's been hosting Jeopardy along with Ken Jennings for the past year and a half.
Not back. What's up?
Yeah, well, I thought this was locked in now.
No, they told her. She says, here's what she said.
I would love that. I like to say I live season to season since I'm about 13 years old. So what I know is what I'm doing until May 6th, and beyond that, hopefully I'll know more before May 6th.
The question was, are you coming back as Jeopardy host? And they have not told her yet. They still keep her just hanging on there. She's a fill-in host, and they have never made it permanent. And May 6th is the end of the season, and she doesn't know if she's coming back next year. I think she will. But
didn't they just ask her to, well, I can't remember. It was not just special occasions, right? Like the special primetime shows?
When they named the ill-fated Mike Richards as the host, they said she would be doing some primetime college bowl type stuff. And then once he was erased, they just emergency came in with her for a few months and then Ken Jennings for a few months. And she did host some of those primetime specials. But
maybe maybe the producers of Jeopardy are as surprised as I am when they see a promo for Call Me Kat. That's still on? I thought we'd have her. She has another job?
An all-new Call Me Kat.
Yeah, I guess that's right. And so she cannot, they have not committed fully to her yet. And Dave Aiken and I are in the same camp. We like Ken Jennings a little better. I think Ken Jennings should get
most
the job.
people do.
I think Jennings should be the host, and I think she should do what she originally agreed to, which was those primetime specials, and that would, there you have it. It's done then.
Or is that too confused? Is that a slight to Jennings? I mean, if you're the host, you're the host. I mean, Sajak hosts Wheel when it's on in primetime.
But they used to do it. You remember the Dennis James years for Price is Right.
Dennis James.
Dave, don't leave me on Dennis James. Dave will remember this.
I can't place his face, but this was when they did the nighttime Price is Right.
They had a nighttime.
This was the 1970s.
They had Bob Barker hosted,
of course,
and every day, and at 11 a.m. or whatever it was. And at night, they had something called Nighttime Price is Right, and the host was Dennis James, who wasn't even
every night. Was it a week?
I think it was once a week.
Once a week,
and it wasn't even close to the same. It may have been every night, but I remember watching it many times. But he wasn't as good as Bob Barker. They've also done things. Didn't they do like a daytime Wheel of Fortune at one point where other people hosted?
Well, that's the first time I ever saw it. Was a daytime show.
Yeah, I thought so.
Chuck Woolery hosted. But then
I remember that or being told about it.
If I were making the decision at Jeopardy, I would say, thank you, Mayim. You've done a great job, but we like Ken a little better, and he's our host. That's what I would do. And whatever you're doing, primetime specials, he would be the host. But if they want to kind of...
Are they worried about you hate women?
I think they might be, because they made the wrong choice the first time around. I think there's probably pressure on them to hire a woman after so many years of Alex Trebek. But I'm just more of a Jennings fan. But listen, she does a good job.